Hi everyone, welcome back to JavaScript 101, and in this video I'm going to be talking about type conversions. So type conversions is where you convert one data type into another data type, and the first type conversion I'm going to take a look at is the string conversion. So first I'm going to create a variable. I'm just going to call it A, and I'm going to just put in a random number, let's say 345 there. So to do a string conversion, you can do it just by reassigning this value of A, and I'm going to use the string function. So string with a capital S, and in the parentheses you just put in the variable there. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to log this type of the variable and also log the variable as well before I actually convert it, and also one more after I convert it. So I'm going to run this, and as you can see here, we have the first one is a number 345, and the next one is a string which is 345. So this is a string type data type. So if you have, for example, a boolean as well, this works for that. So you have a boolean that's true, and then you have the string that's true. So that's how you do a string conversion. Let's look at how do you convert a data type into a number data type. So I'm going to create another variable. I'm just going to create a variable called B, and I'm going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what is called an implicit conversion. So what an implicit conversion is basically is you don't actually instruct JavaScript to convert the data type, but JavaScript does it automatically. So for example, in the string conversion here, this is what we call an explicit conversion. I want JavaScript to convert this data into a string. So how do we do implicit conversion? Well, we don't intentionally do it, but this is how. So if you have a string, so let's say 25, a string of 25, and you divide it by 5, a string of 5, and then you log this out, log B, log type of B. And if you log this out, what you will get is the number 5. So what it has actually done is JavaScript basically looked at 25 and 5, and then it made a division in numbers and then returned a data type of number with the value of 5. So that is your implicit conversion here. So you can do it in multiplication, gives you 125, and even subtraction as well, it's 20. But if you use the addition symbol or the addition operator, and if you run that, it actually doesn't give you 30, it actually gives you 255. So when you use basically an addition, what it does is it joins the two strings together. It does not actually do your implicit conversion. So you have to be careful when you're doing any operations with strings that are numbers. If you have to be careful because they don't always have a consistent sort of value. So the next thing we're going to do is a explicit conversion of a number. So it's similar to the string conversion, but instead of using the string, of course, you can use the number function here with a capital N. And what I'm going to do is here I'm going to first start with a boolean, and I'm going to put the boolean there, and again I'm going to console log before the conversion, and I'm going to do it after as well. So I'm going to run this. Let's put a semicolon here, semicolon, and I'm going to run this. And as you can see here, the boolean is true, but when it converts to a number, it converts to 1. So if you use the false value, it will convert to 0. So it will convert to number 0. So now I'm going to do a string conversion into a number. First thing I want to do is an empty string, and if I run this, what it does is it gives you a 0. So if I have a number as a string, I think you know what happens. It basically converts it into a number 12. But if, for example, you have a text, maybe you have a text says hello, what it does is it gives you something, the special value, not a number here. So that's the numeric conversion. And now we're going to talk about Boolean conversion here. So again, I'm going to create another variable called C, and I'm going to start with 0. And then if we do a Boolean conversion, I'm going to do C equals Boolean, again Boolean function with the capital B in the parentheses. I'm going to reassign it, and I'm going to log the type before the conversion and after the conversion. So you can take a look at what happens here. So if I run that, so as you can see here, number 0 equals false as a Boolean once you convert it. So I want to explain to you about what are these two types of values called truthy and falsy. So truthy means basically if you have a particular value here, it will evaluate to true whenever you convert it, and a falsy value will have a value of false when you convert it. So obviously 0 has a falsy value. So if you want a truthy value, I think you just have to increment it by 1. Any positive number, it will give you true here. If you have a negative number here, it will still give you true here. So a 0 will be false. Anything that is a non-zero number will give you a true Boolean value when you convert it. So now we're going to look at null data type. If we run that, you get a false because it's falsy. The same goes for undefined. Undefined is also falsy. So that's a Boolean of false. And then let's look at string. Let's look at an empty string first. An empty string gives you false. And if there is a value in the string, it will give you true here. So that's how you convert a any data type into a Boolean here. And depending on what the value here, if it is truthy or if it's falsy, it will give you that corresponding Boolean value here. So that is basically how we do different types of type conversions. So I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next video, we are going to talk about our basic operators in JavaScript. And if you want to see more of this content, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for your notifications. And I'll see you in the next video.